69 wins, 4 World Championships, with an opportunity still to win his 5th this season. Is it time we start to talk about Max Verstappen as one of the greatest of all time in Formula One?
Max Verstappen wins! 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 Max Verstappen wins!
Max Verstappen is called the greatest driver of all time, even surpassing Lewis Hamilton. Yes, you heard that right, and it's true. We all know his 2026 is not looking good, and he's struggling.
It is always absolutely thrilling. Monza putting on a show from first practice to the checkered flag, and a moment of history written in the record books. Max Verstappen wins! 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 Max Verstappen wins!
I'm just going to push until the last lap. I'm not going to make it easy. And I just kept believing in there might something, come my way. I don't really like to overcomplicate it too much. You try to adapt to what is needed.
But I guess a bit like Matt, you just said on the call there earlier, you're never going to please everybody.
No.
Why did they change it though? I mean, wasn't the Formula One really going well and Drive to Survive, big crowds? I mean, why have they decided to change it?
It's all part of the development. I mean, the sport's always developed. I mean, people have been saying that Max Verstappen's not happy, but could he retire? Could he go off and do something else? But wait a year and it could all be very different, couldn't it, David?
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, when it comes to racing, when the lights go out, you just want to be fast and you want to be first. So testing, he's in, believe it or not, his 12th season of Formula One. So he's been around for a few years. He's built the respect of his competitors. He's got the right to have an opinion in terms of the driving experience, but he'll not be thinking about that when he gets to Melbourne. He'll just be thinking, right, how do I exploit this potential to the best of my ability? And there'll be a winner at the end. That's the wonderful thing about racing. Once all the talking stops, it's about the stopwatch and it's about the...
But David Coulthard doesn't think so. He said he has brushed off these complaints. He insists that once the lights go out, a driver like Verstappen only cares about being fast and first, and I think he's right. What do you think, guys? What do you think? And it's not all. David Coulthard also thinks Max Verstappen is a better driver than Lewis Hamilton. What do you think, guys? Let me know in the comments. Let's get into it. Here's what makes Max Verstappen so terrifying to every driver on that grid. He doesn't look like a monster. He looks like a kid who just graduated high school. That baby face, that calm voice in team radio. No drama, no theatrics, just speed. He made his Formula One debut at 17 years old. 17, and he won his first race the moment Red Bull put him in a competitive car, becoming the youngest race winner in F1 history at 18 years and 228 days old. That's not normal. That's not human. That is a generational anomaly. Let me throw some numbers at you, because the stats don't lie. 4 World Championships, 2021, 2022, 2024, back-to-back 71-plus Grand Prix wins and counting, 48 pole positions. In 2023 alone, he won 19 out of 22 races. 19. That's not a season. That's a domination. That's a world record for most wins in a single season. He came into 2024, 104 points down, and still nearly stole the championship. He finished just 2 points behind Lando Norris, 2 points, and David Coulthard, a 13-time Grand Prix winner himself, jumped in Max's old Red Bull RB7 at Imola. He did a flying lap on a track he once won at. Then Max jumped in, same car, 1 lap. Coulthard was 5 seconds slower, 5 seconds on 1 lap. That's not a gap, that's a different dimension. Now let's address what everybody's talking about, the 2026 regulations. Max tested the new car in Bahrain, covered 136 laps in 1 day, and came out saying the car felt, and I quote, like Formula E on steroids. He called the new rules anti-racing. He said he can't drive flat out. He said, and this is the part that shocked everyone, that having fun matters more than winning at this stage of his career. He even hinted he's exploring things outside of Formula One. Now look, is that concerning? Maybe. Red Bull is now building their own engine through Red Bull powertrains. That's risky, that's uncharted territory, and Mercedes, McLaren, Williams and Alpine all share the same power unit, which on paper means 4 teams gunning for him with the same engine advantage. George Russell is being tipped as the 2026 world champion favourite, and it's not a bad bet, but David Coulthard heard all of this, the frustration. the anti-racing comments, the talk about fun over winning, and he said relax, his exact words, when the lights go out, you just want to be fast and you want to be first. He said Max will get to Melbourne and forget every single complaint. He won't be thinking about management modes and Formula E, he'll be thinking how do I exploit this car to the absolute maximum, and you know what? Coulthard is right, because this is a driver who even when his car was clearly slower than McLaren in 2024, still nearly won the championship. He didn't accept losing, he weaponized every situation, he maximized every point, he raced like a cornered animal. That's the Max Verstappen factor. The car doesn't define him, he defines the car. And now the big one, the debate that F1 fans have been having for years. Lewis Hamilton, 7 world titles, 105 race wins, 104 pole positions, the greatest statistical record in the history of the sport, a legend, an icon. And then there's Max, 4 titles, still in his prime, still developing, still according to Coulthard, improving. Coulthard said something really interesting. He didn't just pick Max because of the numbers, he picked Max because of who he is. He said Max is very grounded. When he's happy, you know, when he's not happy, like right now with these 2026 cars, he tells you, he's present, he's real, he owns his opinions. And then Coulthard dropped this line about Hamilton. It just feels like the greats match their teammates or beat their teammates, and in the last couple of years, he didn't do that with George. And now at Ferrari, early signs suggest Charles Leclerc has the edge. Meanwhile, Max is still doing things on track that make engineers question reality, still evolving, still hungry. Coulthard's conclusion, Max still has more to come, and nobody knows how far this guy can go. But here's the part I love most about Verstappen. Everyone expected him to be arrogant. He's brash, yes. He's blunt, yes. He doesn't sugarcoat anything, but he also doesn't pretend. He doesn't play politics. He doesn't perform for the cameras. He's just Max, a kid from the Netherlands whose dad Jos raced in F1, who grew up in go-karts before he could barely reach the pedals, who walked into Formula 1 at 17 and never looked back. That babyface hides someone who once told his engineer on team radio to stop talking mid-race because he was in the zone, who overtook Kimi Räikkönen on his debut and didn't flinch, who stared down Lewis Hamilton wheel-to-wheel in Abu Dhabi 2021, the most dramatic title decider in F1 history, and didn't blink. A monster, with a baby face, and ice in his veins. So here's where we land. Is 2026 going to be easy for Max? No. Is Red Bull going to be the dominant force? We don't know. Could George Russell win the title? Absolutely. But write off Max Verstappen. David Coulthard won't. I won't. And deep down, neither will you. Because when those lights go out in Melbourne, all the complaints disappear. All the Formula E on steroids talk disappears. There's just Max, in a car, hunting the front. And that, my friends, is why people are calling him the greatest of all time. Is he ahead of Hamilton already? Drop your opinion in the comments right now. I want to see the debate. Don't just like, argue. That's what F1 is for. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell, because we're talking F1 every week, and it only gets better from here. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.